Amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life, what if I told you that a simple ritual of having a cup of tea can bring about a deep transformation, awakening, and an inner change? I call it brew change over steaming teacups. Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to discuss Katherine Mansfield's short story called A Cup of Tea. So grab your virtual seats, perhaps take a cup of tea and let's begin. Katherine Mansfield was a famous New Zealand modernist short story writer and a poet who lived from 1888 to 1923. She is widely known for her innovative style of writing, and she often captures the complexity of human emotions and relationships in her works. We are going to see that in our story today as well. So let's begin. Let's get started off. Let's quickly discuss the background of the story and the central message so that you know what it is all about. So, A Cup of Tea by Katherine Mansfield was first published in the year 1922. The story is set somewhere in the 20th century London, and it reflects the societal norms and the class dynamics which were prevalent during that period. Right? That, upper class, lower class, middle class, this is, the class divide which was very much in practice in those times in the 20th century. And Mansfield we see often dealing with the complex human interactions and this social class divide which had existed during that time. It is but obvious whatever is happening at a particular point of time in and around a person's life is what a person will do or will write about, and that's exactly what Mansfield has also done. Now, the central message of A Cup of Tea revolves around the themes of privilege, generosity, and social perceptions. Mansfield explores the complexities of human relationships and the divide or the dichotomy between the wealthy and the poor. The story highlights how appearances are present only on a superficial or outer level, and there is potential for unexpected connections to develop between people from different societal backgrounds. Just because a person does not belong to the same class as you, that doesn't mean you cannot make friends with that person. The story takes place among three characters. We have the protagonist, Rosemary Fell. She's a young, wealthy, fashionable woman who leads a very privileged life with her husband Philip. She has got all the luxuries in the world. However, she meets with a young woman who is poor, and she meets this woman on the street and invites her home. Next, we have the poor young woman called Miss Smith. She is a poor girl who asks Rosemary for the price of a cup of tea. Her sudden appearance triggers Rosemary's sense of charity and adventure. And we have Philip, who is Rosemary's husband, and he questions the logic behind bringing the poor girl home and challenges Rosemary's charitable intentions. Let's quickly go through the summary of the story. I won't take much of your time, okay? Rosemary Fell is a young woman. She's belonging to a rich household. She goes out for shopping, and when she goes out for shopping, she meets with a poor girl, and this poor girl is none other than Miss Smith. She is asking money from Rosemary for a cup of tea. Imagine how simple a thing is she asking money for. Now, at this time, Rosemary feels empathetic towards Miss Smith and tells the girl that, why are you having tea over here? You come home with me and I'm going to serve you tea at home. So then Miss Smith goes home with her. She is a little hesitant in the beginning because, of course, Miss Smith is able to judge from the appearance of Rosemary Fell that she is a rich, wealthy woman. So Miss Smith is hesitating, but then she accepts the invitation. Now, back at Rosemary's luxurious home, Rosemary attempts to make Miss Smith feel comfortable and offers her tea and food. At this time, Miss Smith reveals her desperate situation, expressing all her struggles and desires to end her suffering. Now, Rosemary tries to, I told you, make Miss Smith comfortable, and Miss Smith is also finding it a little difficult, and she's hesitating because this is a very expensive house that she has come to, and compared to that, she is a poor little girl, right? When they sit for a cup of tea, Miss Smith keeps sharing about what her different struggles of her life are, the challenges she has to face, and she also expresses at the same time that she wants to bring about a change. She wants to break free from the system and be able to do something better for herself. Now, hearing all this, Rosemary starts feeling sympathetic and she offers to help Miss Smith. Now, at this time, what is going to happen? We have Philip, who is Rosemary's husband. He comes back home and he is surprised to see a sudden guest, Miss Smith, in the house, but he then, just casually takes to the situation. He questions Rosemary's decision of why did she bring Miss Smith home, and on top of that, he is expressing his doubt about whether Rosemary will actually be able to help Miss Smith, and even if she is able to help Miss Smith, is it going to be a practical situation? Now, as the evening progresses, Philip eventually agrees to Rosemary's wishes of agreeing to provide the financial help to Miss Smith. However, we see Miss Smith is a self-made woman, whether rich, whether poor. She knows where she is in life. She decides to leave the place despite Rosemary's offer to provide further support. In the end, we see that Rosemary's charitable act makes her think deeply about her own privilege and the perceptions or the ideas that she has in mind about beauty and generosity. Miss Smith knew that taking help from someone is not a permanent solution that will help her to move up the social ladder that she had a wish for. So she believes that respect is a foremost thing, and in order to be able to progress in life, she must work hard for herself and find a way of moving up the social ladder instead of just accepting favor in the form of financial help or otherwise to move up the social ladder. So she respectfully leaves the place, and it makes Rosemary think, because Rosemary all her life has been dependent on the financial support of her husband. So what are the major themes of the story? Firstly, the story highlights the contrast or the difference between the system of classes at work, how there is a difference between the wealthy and the poor, illustrating how social divisions can shape the way human beings interact and even their thought processes. Rosemary's impulsive act of being kind towards Miss Smith reflects the theme of being generous and charitable. However, Mansfield explores that even offering help involves complexities and limitations of altruism, because Miss Smith felt that if she would take help from a stranger, even if she had become familiar with Rosemary, was not a right way to progress in life. Secondly, we see that the story deals with appearance versus reality, particularly in terms of social status and personal identity. Despite Rosemary's rich and wealthy lifestyle, she struggles with deeper questions of compassion and human connection. The story deals with the dynamics or the system of human relationships, highlighting the unexpected encounters and connections that can happen even beyond social boundaries. Rosemary, a wealthy woman, Miss Smith, who is not a wealthy woman, and the interaction between the two challenges the thought processes of Rosemary and prompts her to confront her own biases and assumptions, because remember, in those times it was not considered a very healthy way of interacting with people of other classes. You should interact with people of your own class was a common notion of Lord. But when she interacts with Miss Smith, she realizes that ultimately human beings, human emotions are the same. It is just the society and the social norms which create a divide among human beings. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.